Hey, welcome back, Witch Talkers, and this is Audrey, your witch in the Witch Talk Tower. I want to say, happy Sunday, ladies and gentlemen. It is the 8th of November, I think. Yes, Sunday, 8th of November, 7:41 Mountain Time. Whether you're tuning in with me via YouTube or podcasting channel, welcome. I'm very excited to have you. This is part of our Baby Witch series, going over some different types of, going over the basics of magic. And for those of you who don't know, I had to learn magic by books, by secondhand knowledge, and it was really difficult, especially in the part of the country I was living in, to be able to hang on to those, to be able to get resources and things along this line. So this is a great way to be able to learn. A couple of things I'd like to talk about. First, there's a couple of big things that are going to hit. There's a Witch Talk review that's going to go over a couple of different things. Products that I've used, tested, or bought that is just fun to have. Of course, the Baby Witch series, which goes over the basics of witchcraft. There's going to be another one dropping. It's going to go through editing today or tomorrow. It's going to drop this week, so you'll be able to go over and listen to that. It's why the subject is why my spells aren't working, and it covers a lot of basics that you'll be able to really quick fix when it comes to making sure your spells work. Of course, we go over Witch's Review. We go over Hexy Mama, being a mom and being a witch at the same time. Right now, we're actually in the process of doing the Triple Goddess and the Gods and the Pantheons, and then we're going to go over choosing your Pantheon. That's a series that we're doing with Cup of the Crone. And of course, don't forget your resources that you have when it comes to the blog, Facebook, Snapchat, and Twitter. Don't forget you can follow me on all those things. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and hit the subscribe and the bell button so you can get notifications on when things are going down via Witch Talk. Also, the Facebook has a new group, so you can join, chat, ask questions. It's what I'm here for. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. A couple of things I'd like to go over first. First, I'd like to say congratulations to our president-elect and his beautiful wife, Miss Biden, and of course, their doggos. We finally have doggos in the first house again, so congratulations. Okay, so now let's go ahead and talk about herbs. I get this one a lot. Working with herbs is the basis for any kind of magic that has to do with cooking, that has to do with cleansing, ritual baths, potion making. It all grinds down to knowing your herbs. Now, of course, I always mention this, that I am using the Witch's Journal by Celine Silverwind as a reference. And of course, I have a couple other books that I'm going to go over and talk to you guys about today. Now, let's talk about magic. So, herbs have so much vast magical power. Every single herb has a different, it's the goddess's fingerprint and is on each and every one of them, and that gives us specific magical and medical properties. So of course you can use herb for medicinal purposes, but also like the flip on everything, there's always balance. So it also has a spiritual use. You can use herbs for burning, edible. You can do botanical magic, like the Witch Talk line. Use soaps, lotions, candles. You can add them to candles. You can dry herbs and carry them around you. there is always a specific way you can also grow your own herbs and harvest them. But there's a couple of things that you really need when you're working with herbs, and one of them is a mortar and pestle. A mortar and pestle is a stone or wooden bowl in and kind of like this rounded, smooth, small, like that looking stone. I know that sounds really odd, but you have to work with me in here because normally you're a mortar and pestle. This is my first cup of coffee. So, a couple quick ways to harvest herbs. Those are what you primarily need. Other things you need, probably like reusable tea bags. I have a stick that I harvested when I went foraging one time, and I put well, actually it's right there. So if you're on YouTube, I'm going to show you right quick. It's right there. And I put string on either side of it, and I hang my herbs that I harvest those from. And right now I have my different types of sage and different type of bundles hanging on it. That rosemary I did harvest myself. So all I did, there's a couple of different ways you can do it. And I'm going to go at the book of this. To quote, if you grow your own herbs for magic, make sure that you grow them without chemicals and then harvest them correctly. Harvest herbs after the sun has dried them out, but before the major heat of the day sets. So I am in the glorious state of Texas, where it's only cold maybe 30 days out of the year. So what I do is I do them either late at night and early morning, and I usually grab them before 9. So it depends on the kind of climate that you're in. Always use a sharp magical knife to cut them. The tool should be serrated specifically for this purpose. Okay, so when it comes to this is when I kind of disagree. There are certain knives and there are certain ritualistic methods that I do not use when it comes to just regular harvesting. I have shears. I have little I've blessed them, I have cleansed them, I've blessed them with oil and with blessing oil, and then I use those to harvest my my herbs. And I keep 2 pairs, one in my car and one in my house. So if I go foraging, then I have them on me, and that's what I use. Also, if you're foraging is where you can go out into nature and you basically get things from the land. Ask, because you don't know what's attached or things along those lines, and most of the time you will know in your spirit to either yes, I can get this, or no, I cannot. As humans, we do not rule over nature. Nature is the mother of us all, and she is very giving, so ask. Thank the plant for its gift and offer it something in return, such as a crystal, water, or some soil. When I harvest plants, I thank them. And I don't mean I take the leaves off of them like you would do like rosemary. Let's say you're harvesting rosemary and these are the leaves and you cut. Okay. I thank them, and then I always make sure to give back in return. When I plant a plant in a pot or in something, I usually do a couple of crystals in the bottom of it as a help to make it grow. Combining spiritual energies, but also water and soil is something that you're responsible with those are the basic things that a plant needs to grow. Go back to biology. So I do other things. I sing, I tell it a story, I spend time with my plants. So that's something that you can do. Plants live just like dogs, animals, people. And you have to spend time and be able to do that. And plants, there's this old saying when it comes to your plants, that if your plant dies randomly, they absorb negative energy. And it sacrificed themselves. So remember that. Plants are to help you. And they're very self-sacrificing and loving. And make sure that you appreciate them for what they are. And what you use them for. Whether you get them from a grocery store or you harvest them yourself. Remember, that is life that they had, and those energies are still there for you to use. So be thankful. Balance, remember? Alright, only harvest the amount you need, except in the fall, you can take a large harvest and ensure healthy growth the following year. Completely agree to that. Nothing else to take. I also say this, if you're doing kitchen magic and you're using it for a specific purpose, let's say you're using a handful of parsley to put into soup. Instead of blessing your full thing of parsley, bless the one that put herb in hand, infuse it with the magic that you want, and then apply it to the dish that you're doing. That's something else that I would do. So, because you're going to use that parsley for different things. Also, what I recommend for me personally is having a separate for kitchen use and magic use separate. I have my working herbs that I use for magical purposes in my witch room, and then the ones in the kitchen I don't use. Very rarely I cross them over, but I like to keep them separated. So let's go over some major herbs that you need in your witch's cabinet to get you going. We're going to go based off the book, and then I'm going to talk about a couple that I think that you're going to need and some resources that you could use. Okay, rosemary. I love rosemary. Rosemary is used for protection, healing, love, purification, strength, stress relief, memory, mental clarity, and it has to do with Sun and Leo. So, what I primarily use rosemary for is that when I go in and I cleanse a house, I cleanse it completely. I do a smoke cleanse with sage because it's like an atomic bomb. It clears everything out. And then I go back and I do protective smoking with rosemary. And I burn rosemary throughout, like if I'm studying for something or if I'm trying to get a clarification for one of the guides, I will offer rosemary. So you can get rosemary. You can get rosemary oil pretty much in any like vitamin or organic store. You can get rosemary. You can get off the shelf, like especially this time of year because it's so close to the Thanksgiving. You can also harvest it. The funny thing is there's a lot of rosemary in front of like storefronts, in front of like malls and things because it smells good. And I think that muggles actually don't realize that that it's protection. So I find that very funny. So they put it in front of storefronts, they put it in front of like places where people frequently travel. I know in Alabama at the summit there was rosemary everywhere, so that's one of the reasons why I would keep my spears in my purse, shears in my purse, so I would snip. But make sure you have permission before you do that. You don't want to get in trouble. I'm not encouraging you to steal the plant life from storefronts, but ask, because most of the time, like with security at the summit, they were okay with it because like gardening things, they didn't want it to overgrow. So keep that to what you will. Thyme. Healing, love, psychic knowledge, purification, Mercury, Venus, water, Taurus, and Libra. Okay. Time you can find pretty much anywhere, Walmart, things along those lines. It is great to have in your house, especially in your witch room or in the place that you worship. Time has to do with psychic ability and helping you enhance it. So if you have a tea or if you have food and you're on a Sabbath or Isbeth and you want your spiritual ability to grow, sprinkle some time. I use time. I put time in like where my books are so I can absorb it. I do a little pouch and I put it where my books are, between my bookshelves or behind, and then I eat it on the regular. So I put it in food and it's wonderful. Lavender. Okay. Lavender is one of my favorite herbs of all time. Lavender, you can do it for cooking. You can do it for like lavender lemonade. You can do like lavender honey bread. It smells amazing, and I love it. It stands for like happiness, love, protection, beauty, purification, relaxation, psychic knowledge, sleep, Mercury, air, Gemini, Virgo. I love lavender and I use it frequently. I had lavender at my hand fasting ceremony and I harvest it, and I have a huge jar full of it. That was from my hand fasting ceremony. And I use lavender for everything. A fussy baby, I make lavender lotion and I put it on its feet to help calm it down and get ready for sleep. I wear lavender and I put on lavender to help with my psychic abilities when I'm astral projecting or something on those lines. I put lavender in food and in teas and potion making when I give to if I am doing like witch work for somebody, I give it to them as part of my witch's brew, and I give it to them and they drink it, and it helps bring them into a psychological focus and a psychic focus and let them relax. So lavender is one of my favorites. A couple other ones that you might want to get into is cinnamon, sandal oil, mugwort, cedar, patchouli, rose, frankincense, jasmine. They are all great herbs to be able to have on you. I'm not going to go over all their properties because I want you guys to learn. I want you guys to get out there, get your resources, and read. And but there are a couple of things that I want to go over when it comes to resources. So, yay. So, resources wise. This is by Ellen Duggan. I was able to meet her at Books, Boots, and Candles in Alabama. This is Garden Witch Herbal. This goes over the magic of creating a garden and different spells, things along this line. Head witchery, forgery. It is amazing. She's also created green magic, herbalism and spirituality. Also, another book that I would recommend, a couple books that I would recommend. Okay. Green Witch by Erin Murphy Hitchcock, and the grimoire that just dropped this year that goes along with it. For creating your own book of natural magic. They are fantastic. Work through them and use them. I forgot I have them here. Okay. I actually got this recommendation from a witch that I follow on TikTok. It's Culpepper's Complete Herbal by Nicholas Culpepper. And it goes over, and this is what I really like about this book, is that it has like the description of it, the government of virtues, where to find it, like a specific place, modern uses, and it's pretty freaking extensive, like even like Butler's Broom. So this is one that I would definitely, it's a great reference book to have, so definitely use it. This is not a magical book per se. This has to do with herbal medicine. This is the Herbal Medicine Handbook, quick reference by Burke Leahan. And I use a lot of herbal magic personally because of my heart problem. And this actually goes over tinctures that you can make. Tinctures is when you soak a herb in alcohol and you can take it like medicine, like liquid medicine. Ones that you can have tinctures in, ones that you can do in teas, ones that you can have medically and not wise. There's another one called Woman's Health that that has to do with herbal medicine too, that I use on a regularly. Be careful, not all herbs are, some herbs are poisonous. Some herbs can actually hurt you, and there's also double names for herbs. Nightshade has 2 names. But most people usually call it nightshade. It's also nightshade and wolfsbane. So keep that in your mind. The encyclopedia for herbal ingredients. The herbal magic. These are a couple books that I stand by with everything in me. Botanical magic. Incense oils and brews. Incense oils and brews by Scott Cunningham, a very renowned witch Wicca author. Blackthorn's Botanical Magics by Amy Blackthorn. She's freaking fantastic. I love her to pieces. She's also the founder of the Blackthorn Hoodoo Blends. So definitely pick her up and read her. The Herbal Magics by Paul Burrell. The Encyclopedia of Magical Ingredients is by Alexa Rosian. And there's actually 2 new books that I've recently acquired. So everyone sits there and like, oh, herbs, potion making. And yeah, potion making can be different things. It can be either you drinking a potion, it can either be you can actually put them in your bath or things along those lines. Botanicals, like lotion, soaps, things along those lines. You can use it there. But there are 2 books that I came across that I find absolutely fascinating. And especially for me, if you're over the age of 21. So, of course, when you think potions, you think like potions that you drink, like tea, lemonades, drinks. And of course, like, then you go into like mixed herbs that you carry on you and things along those lines. Well, I did not think about this being an adult, but also spirited libations. And I picked up this book, Blackthorn Botanical Brews, Herbal Potions, Magical Teas, and Spirited Libations. This actually goes over alcohol and using it for magical purposes, which I should have thought of this, but I didn't. So Amy did a lot better than thought about it a lot better than I did. But she actually gives recipes for certain things when it comes to alcohol and non-alcoholic things like lollipops, like cream frappuccino and lavender lemon pepper cheesecake. And when you go over one of her recipes, she'll actually goes over the magical properties that it has. For example, like she goes over like how to make your own vermouth. different herbs that you can, like, and what they go for. And then, like, it goes over, like, even how to make your own kombucha. And then this is something I really want you to point out, though. So in this book, if you could look at apple, it goes over the botanical family that it's in, origin, part of plant used, scent description, scent impact, related spirits, and then it goes over magical correspondence. It even has its botanical name. And then it goes over to practical uses, and then at least the magical uses that it's have, and different, like, things that you can incorporate it in. Yes, this is the same A.B. Blackthorn that did the Botanical Magic book. So, I do recommend buying these together. They're definitely worth it. They're both very eloquently made. This one is for if you're underage and if you're underage, you shouldn't be really, like, listening to my shit, but okay. But if you have a young witch that is underage and she's getting into it, this is a great way to do it. Overage, enjoy it. But also, this is another one that I stumbled across on Witch Talk. And it is Potions, Elixirs, and Brews, A Modern Witch's Grimoire to Drinkable Spells by Anise Alexander. I'm not sure if I'm saying that wrong, and I apologize to Alexander for it. And it goes over it goes over different drinkable potions, because for some reason, when it comes to drinkable potions, a lot of witches are like, okay, just teas. Well, this goes outside than just making reusable teas or herbal medicinal things, and it's absolutely fantastic. If you have a problem doing that, if you're not a professional bartender or a professional drinkologist, guess what? She has a TikTok, and she goes over every single drink she has in this. It goes over drinks too. I want to go over table of contents and just, like, read it. So it has what are potions, why do they work, basics. It goes over different types of potions, because there are different kinds, from the definition of, like, elixirs, solid, liquid, and gaseous potions, like the definition of draft, herbal infusion, oil infusion, ointment, tonic. It goes over all the definitions of that, the things that you need to create it, basic ingredients, it goes over all of that in here. But also it goes over, like, how to use the recipes, different types of recipes she has, curse removal potions, divination potions, transformation potions, protection, healing, potions for the coven. And they're all fun and delicious. I've tried a bunch of them myself. And since I'm not a professional mixologist, I was a bartender many, many years ago, but it wasn't, like, hardcore. So I followed her TikTok, and absolutely amazing. I've got a lot of really great reviews of this, so this is a book I definitely recommend picking up. So that goes over herbs. And there are so many herbs to go through. There are so many. And when it goes over, when it comes to storing your herbs, I recommend this. Getting a bookshelf, getting a bunch of glass or plastic jars. For example, I have these little jars that I got from Michael's were like $4, and I got a pack of like 6 or 8. And I just did a label maker, like birch bark, and I put it in there. Then I store it like this. One, it's really safe to store this way. It's also very hard for kids to, like, do that. But I did a bookshelf, and I just put all my herbs up there, and then I put my mortar and pestle and other potion making things on top of it. So, and then I stretched. So that's what I did. I do recommend charging your herbs, like under moon or under sun. And I do herbs are one of those things that the tarot cards. You're never going to have all of them memorized. You're never going to. I've been doing this for years, and I don't have everything memorized yet, and it's 13 years. So the one thing I can tell you is my advice to this: when it comes to herbs, read, because herbs are not just, they're not like crystals. Herbs are things that you ingest or put on your skin, and they could help or hurt you. So know which one you're getting into. Okay. 2, make sure you have some good reference go-to books. I gave you a list of some that I use to, if I'm not sure, there are some things that I do have memorized. There are some things that I like my go-to, like Witch's Brew. I know that, I memorized that, and I know to serve it to clients, and I know that I did a lot of research to be able to create that myself. And that's something that you need to do. Just because you don't memorize something doesn't mean you don't know where to go, so you can look it up yourself. And knowing your reference. And also, it's good to be able to flip through these books and get to know the herbs. Not just the ones that you see every day, but also the ones that you don't see every day. The ones that you didn't even think existed. The one when you actually get to know a herb and you see that it actually correlates to you, or you understand it, or it's connected to you by some cosmic way. It's a great way to introduce yourself to nature and the plants that are around you. Because a lot of these plants are used and manufactured in our soaps, lotions, perfumes, shampoos, conditioners, all are potions, by the way. And when it comes to making them, those books are a great reference. Like this book, The Incense, Oils, and Brews by Scott Cunningham, it is literally a potion making book, as if Snape wrote it himself. And it goes over like different types of things, like even corresponding to your zodiac sign. Like, for instance, Capricorn satchel, card protection satchel. It is a potion making book, and that it's an easy book to be able to work through. All of these books are not super advanced. There are step-by-step guides to be able to lead you through it. And that's my breakdown of herbs. So, I hope you guys had really enjoyed this one. It is just a quick overview of a very, very vast subject of herbs. Of course, I'm going to encourage you to sit down and read. Get your hands on some of these books. I definitely recommend using a Kindle or an iPad and downloading it that way. For a digital library, so in case you're foraging or something, you have your phone on you, you can be like, oh, what's that? Look it up, see what the properties are, and know what's what. It's fabulous, right? Alright, so I love you guys. I hope you have a very, very blessed day. A couple of quick things I would like to announce. Of course, y'all probably know that I got 2 new pets. There are 2 mice. One is black, one is white. They're named Zeus and Hades, of course. But also, me and my husband got a new puppy since Azrael decided to run off with her boyfriend. So, just to let you guys know, her name is Petra. She is a German Shepherd Husky mix. I will let you guys, and I'll introduce you to her via Snapchat, my Instagram, and my Facebook stories, so you'll be able to see that. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much who've been telling me who's been giving me early birthday wishes. Yes, my birthday is in 2 days. It's on the 10th. Thank you guys so much for your early birthday wishes. I really do appreciate it. It's very, very sweet. And I cannot wait to be able to be here for another year with you guys and help you grow. So, thank you guys so much. I hope you have a great day. So, merry meet, merry part, and merry meet again.